Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. That is the one word that is going through the entire football sphere. We're talking about a team that has been years in making, a team that has faced a lot of criticism over the years from butlers, from they're not mentally strong, they're not durable, from Mikel Arteta is not a great coach. But we in the football community, we Arsenal fans over the years, we've gone through a lot of different phases, right? We've gone through a point in time where we're doubtful. We're doubtful of this team. We're doubtful of the Kroenkes. Are they going to invest what is needed to push us on, to push this team forward? Every single one of those questions have been answered, but the truth is, right? In the last few years, you rarely hear about the Kroenkes anymore. You rarely hear about all the criticism that they had in the Arsene Wenger's reign for the fact that they didn't invest in the team. The only thing we're concentrated on is the team, right? Is the team winning. That is the turning point for Arsenal, where we are actually investing in the team. We're trying to win. We might not invest the biggest amount in the sport. We might not spend 500 million pounds, but we're making tangible improvement in our team every season. And this season might be a special season, right? Everything is coming together to become a generational season. You know, when people talk about generational players, oh, this guy is generational, Lamine Yamal is generational, this team is generational. You don't look at this Arsenal team and say they have 6, 7 players like, oh, Andres Iniesta, Xavi, Sergio Busquets, or like Manchester City that won the treble. They had Kevin De Bruyne, Ike Goldberg. We're talking about all-timer players. Rodri, a Ballon d'Or winner. Ellen Haaland, one of the greatest specimen we've ever seen as a centre forward in our sport. But what this team has is mentality. It's weird, right? It's the one thing that this team has constantly been beaten with. Mikel went out and actually went out with a philosophy that I'm not just buying a player because of their skill set on the pitch, because of their ability to score a goal. I'm buying players who are mentally strong, who are durable, who, when the going gets tough, they can power through, essentially. That was the mandate for Mikel. There's a reason why, if you look at our recruitment in the last few years, we've tried to sign captains of teams, Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, the vice captain of Real Sociedad, right? He brought in Martin Odegaard because he saw something in Martin that this guy is a silent leader. He's a leader with example. He sets good example for the rest of the players to follow, right? He's consistent, comes in, trains. You never hear any scandal about any of our players. Let's talk about the building blocks. Let's talk about the numbers this season. We've had 25 clean sheets in 49 games this season. That is the highest in the entire Europe, right? Arsenal have become Europe's most complete defensive unit, and compliments to Gabriel Saliba, Timber, Nkapie, Calafiori, Benjamin White. These guys are exceptional defenders in their own right. But what makes Arsenal great defensively is not just the defensive block, right? We have possibly the best defense in the world. What makes Arsenal great as a defensive team is we don't carry anybody. We don't carry Bukayo Saka. He's our star player. He's the most paid player in the squad, but he's not a passenger. He defends, he protects Timber, he comes back to defend, he tracks back. Look at the Leverkusen game yesterday. Saka constantly tracking back, Martinelli constantly tracking. We're comfortable when it comes to defending, right? In those games, like you just see us against Brighton, like a couple of weeks ago, comfortable defending, right? And in occasions where we're stretched, where we need to find the goals against Everton, as an example, we have our defenders who are capable of doing their job 1v1, right? Saliba can start two. Saliba and Gabriel can start two with any centre back on the planet. Any centre back, bring me any defender in the planet. They can start toe with them. Timber, one of the best 1v1 defenders on the planet. Nkapie, the treble winning player with elite mentality, fight, hunger, drive, endurance, ability to keep on punching when they go and get stuff. That is what defines this team. We've lost 3 games this season, and I'll tell you in what circumstances we've lost those games. all from Walders. One was Dominic Szoboszlai, if I can remember correctly. It's third minute, fourth minute. I can't remember the time exactly against Liverpool earlier on the season at Anfield. I think it was the fifth or sixth game of the season. That game was probably going to be a draw. Szoboszlai, which we've seen now, is probably the best free kick taker on the planet right now. Came up with one of the best, most magnificent free kicks you've ever seen to beat us in that game. The next game we lost was another moment of madness in the dying embers of the game against Aston Villa. We just need to clear that ball once. We cleared the ball multiple times. The ball failed to clear, fell to, I can't remember the Aston Villa number 10 name right now, and it struck the ball home. That was the game where you saw Raya, Nkapie slamming the ground, everybody being mad. It was a weird game, and Iwaldi was the reason why we lost that game. You can see the anger. We were severely criticized by a lot of people, ESPNs of this world, talk sport of this world, saying the team doesn't have mentality. A team that refuses to lose doesn't have mentality. That is disgusting. And the only game we've lost all season at home, at our ground, at our home, at Emirates, was against Manchester United. And that also came in the dying embers of the game. I think it was the 90 something minutes from Cunha, magnificent strike. These things can happen in football. These things will happen. And those three games have come in the Premier League. We've navigated all these games, multiple games, well, better than most teams this season. A key start for you. I was listening to Declan Rice interview yesterday with CBS, and he was saying we've played three games. We've played every 3 days since October. And this was in the period where Odegaard was in and out of the team. Merino is out of the team. I think he's injured. I think his season is done. Kai Havertz didn't play a single minute up until I think December or January. Um, Gabriel Jesus was not available because we're still recovering from ACL. We carried a lot of injuries. Saka has been injured multiple times this season. Madueke has had to step in. Martinelli has been injured this season. Trossard has had to step in. Trossard has been injured this season. Martinelli has had to step in. We've we've used our squad. A key stat that I can't remember exactly the stat, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, is that we have the highest number of players that have come off the bench this season to impact games, either from goals and assists. I think 20 something. I think Manchester City have one or two in the league. That is insane. Look at the numbers. You can't, they're not comparable. When you look at our expected goals against in the league this season, exceptional, the best in the league by a country mile, right? Donnarumma has saved Man City a lot of times. As you watch a lot of their games, like teams create a lot of chances against them. When you watch our games, it tends to either be an error that led to a goal or maybe some magnificent play from the opposition, typically. So I know our players, when people criticize the performance level and say, oh, they're not consistent, they're not playing great, I think it's due to fatigue. Zubimendi and Declan Rice have played an enormous amount of minutes this season. We've tried to manage them here and there, but both of them are solely responsible alongside the rear guard, which is our defense, and David Raya, for our consistency. Because if your foundation is solid, right, what that means is if you're not conceding a lot of chances, you don't need a lot to win games, right? Which was the mindset Mikel Arteta brought into the season is, oh, when he was signing Mosquera, he was signing Nkapie, there was a lot of criticism that, okay, why are you signing these guys? What do you need them for? You need attacking players, you need this, you need that. But he understood that the season is a marathon, right? And we need all those players because we've seen that okay, Benjamin White has become injury prone because we've used him so much and we didn't get anything out of Tomiyasu. What that means is now we're overusing Timber because White is not available, right? We're overusing Saliba because we don't have anybody to rest him with. So we stuck on Mosquera, a young Spanish centre back, captain of his Spanish under 21 national team. We brought him in at a low cost, but he's an exceptional athlete. We went to Leverkusen and said, give us Piero Incapi on loan and we're going to pay next season. Knowing fully well that we have Calafiori, who is injury prone, and we have Lewis Kelly, who is not a particular left back. He's a player that when he plays that left back position, he plays it in a different way. But I think this is Mikel wants defenders, actual defenders defending. So he invested in that. We didn't see the vision. I can't say I saw the vision. And most Arsenal fans, if you're being honest out there, you didn't see the vision either. But this team is built in the image of the manager. It's a magnificent team. It's a team that is on the precipice of greatness, and we just have to keep pushing. We have the Carabao Cup final coming this weekend. Let's get that done. Let's get the first taste of that trophy this season. And I'm sure we can do it. This team has shown resilience, they've shown character and unity all season. But now it's about togetherness. We need to stay together. The playing staff, the fans, come together and let's push this thing through because this might be a defining team for this generation of Arsenal fans that haven't seen this team win anything. From the fans to the players to the dressing room to the stands, we carry each other over the line and start this Sunday. Thank you guys for having me. Like the video, subscribe to the content. Come on, you gunners.